sing songs at the time. We just never had anything like that. And it still kind of remains that quality today.
Absolutely. Oh, it just has a sense of urgency, man.
It does indeed. It's 7:31 and foggy, not quite as foggy. It's starting to clear up a little bit. And news is here brought to you by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Nishida with the care, compassion, and roadmap to your recovery begin. And once again, here's Bill.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, everybody. An intense excavation expedition earlier this month off of Pine Creek Road near South Webster following a tip from a reliable source did not find human remains, according to Sauter County Sheriff David Thurman. Excavation at that site is now complete, and the good sheriff said investigators are preparing to excavate a well at another location to search for the possibility of human remains. Meanwhile, a bridge replacement project on State Route 335 is causing traffic delays as well as problems for residents along the detour route on Lyons Road. Now, this is despite the best efforts being made by ODOT as well as our local township trustees. Now, one resident complained of a water line break caused by a heavy truck along the detour that flooded several local yards. I spoke with Sauter County Engineer Darren LeBrun, who told me township trustees and ODOT are in a tough spot.
De facto detour on the Lyons and Luther Road is a difficult situation. I know that ODOT and Madison Township are both working to resolve it. Our office is recommending, and the commissioners have passed the 50% weight limit reduction for both roads. So that's now enforceable. That should hopefully keep the semis off the roads. And then the commissioners this week, they have the results of our speed study for an enforceable speed limit. That's just a unfortunate situation that's occurring, and hopefully our partners there can get that resolved.
Now, it's also important to note that ODOT may only detour traffic onto other ODOT-maintained roadways. Meanwhile, an effort continues to save the paper mill in Chillicothe and the 800 jobs it provides. But Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, well, he says it's going to be a monumental task. Reporter Doug Petcash has our story.
HIG is the investment firm that bought the mill in 2022 and originally announced it would close it in phases. Marino sent a letter to the firm calling that decision corporate greed. Then Marino announced the owners of Pixel paused the mill's closure until the end of this year. The senator says Ohio leaders want to find a good strategic buyer who's going to operate the mill for decades. He knows that won't be easy.
But it's going to require a full team effort to make that happen. I'm optimistic, but cautiously so.
If the mill does ultimately close at the end of the year, 800 people would lose their jobs. The mill has been in Chillicothe since the mid-1800s.
And the most recent True Lure Trout Derby was a major success, according to event organizer Todd Dunn. Reality TV star Bruce Mitchell of Swamp People was there for 3 days to help promote the event. He was well received. I spoke with Dunn, who gave me details.
Well, we was proud of, there's over 900 disabled kids and vets in the 3 days came there. The kids jumped up and down screaming and hollering when they caught their first fish, and everything went perfect.
Now, Dunn said local sponsors were the real heroes, but he also told me about another hero.
Doc Nelson, it just humbled me to watch him. He had such a great time. We gave a kid a wheelchair, electric wheelchair back, and Doc Nelson did it, and it just humbled me to watch Doc. It just choked him up. He was good.
For Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question that I think everybody in life has at one time done or another, okay?
All right, let's go.
Have you ever helped anybody move?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so, yeah. I'm waiting for the punchline, so.
Well, no punchline, really. It's that new survey says 22% of Americans hate helping people to move, and at some point would lie or wiggle their way out of doing it for anybody.
There's some people I've been glad to help move.
Yeah. 38% hate even being asked. Safeway Moving Company did this survey of 2,000 people and came up with the fact that even if you try to bribe people with food, drinks, money, or a returning favor, 60% say that moving is stressful. 57% have reconsidered moving due to how tiring it can be. And it's easy to understand why people rope their friends and family into it rather than looking into using professionals because, A, normally it's free.
Right.
And there's the guilt factor, of asking somebody and being poor, pitiful me.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've never been paid to move somebody, but that's okay.
When I started in Lexington, 1985, I knew nobody. I mean, I went to Lexington from Huntington to the radio station, and the only people I knew was at the radio station. So I've been there a week, right?
Okay.
1 week. And then the people that I did know was just a handful of a few people. And one guy was a production director down there, and he's a nice guy. We got off to a good start and everything. And he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, I need a favor. Would you help me?" Well, I didn't have anything else to do because I was living in an apartment, didn't have any friends or anything. I said, "Sure, what do you need?" He goes, "Well, could you come over Friday night and help me move?" I said, "Well, yeah, I don't have anything else to do." So I did. So I showed up Friday night, and there was one other person there with him, and he told me the address. So I show up at this address, and there's a U-Haul parked outside. It's an apartment building. And so we start going in and taking stuff out. Taking out a couch and chairs and coffee tables and whatnot. And, I don't know anybody. So, I noticed that off to the side there was this scornful-looking woman and who didn't talk to anybody. So, I just decided to just, move and not, ask too many questions. So finally, I just couldn't take it any longer because this woman was just like giving me the hairy eyeball.
The stink eye, as it were.
Yeah. And so finally I said, "Who's that woman over there that's looking at us?" She goes, "Oh, don't worry about her. She's my ex-wife." Oh, okay.
Was better than Benny's current wife.
But we were moving all of his stuff and some of hers out, and she wasn't happy about it. So at that point in my life, I said, I don't care. I'll try to be a nice guy in every other way except help people move.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
Yes, sir.
This update brought to you by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates, Dr. Inashita, with the care compassion roadmap to your recovery begin, and we'll check in with sports and Chuck next.
The health and well-being of the community when it comes to cancer care and the cure is a name that's legendary. His name is Dr. Inashita. At Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates of Portsmouth, they're always there to think way ahead of the curve, to provide the absolute latest in care treatments and that personal one-on-one service that today is so rare. With Dr. Inashita and King's Daughters, they owe their success to the many forward-thinking community members and great volunteers who have all helped shape King's Daughters and Dr. Inashita as their first choice from patients and families who choose them for the most critical time in their life, when that absolute right decision must be made. For more information, from screenings to treatment, contact Dr. Inashita by calling 353-4884 or stop by and meet their incredibly helpful staff at 916 11th Street in Portsmouth. With Dr. I and Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates, that's where the care, compassion, and the roadmap to your cure begin.
And good morning. It is time for Sports 738, and brought to you this morning by your friends at Collier Home Medical, 1661 State Route 522. And you know them, they know you, and they're right across the street from Kroger. Give them a call, and they'll answer any of your questions at 574-0327. Well, we're going to hopefully get everything cleared up today and play 2 in Cincinnati.
That's right. If you're in the Queen Cities, today would certainly be a wonderful day to head to Great American Ballpark a couple times. It's a day-night doubleheader, so you wouldn't be there for the continuation of two straight games. You could get out and go grab yourself a bite to eat, but hopefully the Reds will be looking to extend that win streak to 7 after the day is through.
I've always wondered about this. I've never done it, but, me and my little devious mind, if there was
you want to hide. You want to hide.
Where would you hide and not get caught and get to stay for the second game?
There's a lot of nooks and crannies in Great American Ballpark, but I cannot imagine that they're not all checked thoroughly.
Well, they won't have that much time. Maybe the game goes long today, and they got to get everybody out, new people in. There's some place, maybe the bathroom. Maybe you could go in there and stand on the toilet and lock the...
Yeah.
I'm thinking all kinds of things.
See, I think that would be too obvious. I would think that would be the first place that ushers and security would check.
Not if it was locked.
They usually have a Chevrolet display of some sort that's there right around the Hall of Fame. Maybe they would keep the trunk unlocked or something. Maybe you could climb into Malibu or something like that.
I'll work on it while you do
Or
sports.
if you could climb up to the Toyota Tundra out in center field. I don't think they checked the truck bed.
No, nobody does. You can't even hit it with a baseball.
Right.
All right, here's Chuck.
The Reds' home game last night with St. Louis was rained out, so they will play 2 today. The first game at GABP will begin at 12:40. That's the regularly scheduled game, and then the makeup will start this evening at 6:40. You'll be able to hear both of those contests at Fox Sportsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. The Reds enter today riding a 5-game winning streak. The Cleveland Guardians doubled up on the Minnesota Twins 2-1 yesterday. Those two will hook up again this evening at 6:10 in Cleveland. Because of yesterday evening's rain, there was not a lot of high school baseball and softball yesterday. Most games were rained out, but there were a few that managed to get played. Southeastern Ross defeated Piketon 9-1 in high school baseball, while in high school softball, Piketon prevailed over Southeastern 5-4. Northwest softball team knocked off West 11-5. Rock Hill doubled up on Ironton 4-2. Wayne, West Virginia was a winner over South Point 5-2, and the Wheelersburg Lady Pirates defeated Ashland 3-0. In high school track and field news, Wheelersburg's boys and girls teams both picked up wins at the Huntington Ross Invitational on Monday. Ella Hochstetler set a new school record in the discus with a throw of 145 feet. The 4x2 and 4x4 boys relay teams set meet records. The school record was set in the 4x2. The same 4 runners made up both teams: Xander Mowry, Elijah Brown, Ethan Hochstetler, and Kason Witt. The winning 4x1 team from Wheelersburg consisted of Kanan Arthur, Kason Witt, Kenyon Evans, and Clark Weller. Ison Emnett was tops in the shot put with a throw of 56 feet, 11 inches. Last night in the NBA playoffs, the Pacers prevailed over the Bucks 119-118. That game was decided in overtime. Indy wins the series in 5 games and will advance to the second round to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 1 of that series will be Sunday in Cleveland. Elsewhere last night in the NBA playoffs, the Pistons defeated the Knicks 106-103. New York still has a 3-2 series lead. The reigning champion Boston Celtics topped the Orlando Magic 120-89. Boston wins that series in 5 games to move on. The Nuggets knocked off the Clippers 131-115, and in doing so, Denver now has a 3-2 series lead. Finally, let's check results from the Elks Tuesday Night Golf League in team play. SeanTyree.com was tops in the James Atkins division. The James Dickey Post-23 American Legion led the way in the Bill Platzer division. The flight winners yesterday were Brendan Roark in A flight. He shot a 34. Kyle Keaton was tops in B flight with a score of 38. Scott Markham topped the leaderboard in C flight, shooting a 41. And Steve James' score of 43 was best among the D flight players. And that is a look at sports.
All right, thank you, Chuck, and brought to you this morning by your friends at Collier. That is Collier Home Medical, easy to find right there at 1661 State Route 522 in the Berg, and they're there for all of your home medical needs. And we got traffic weather on the way.
Collier is expanding its business opportunities to include Collier Home Medical, a local durable medical equipment company, or DME, offering free home setup of a variety of home medical equipment such as home oxygen and portable oxygen, as well as hospital beds, wheelchairs, rollators, walkers, and more. Collier also offers home sleep testing along with CPAP and BiPAP for patients diagnosed with sleep apnea. Overnight pulse oximetry testing is available with a physician order. Located at 1661 State Route 522 across from Kroger in Wheelersburg, call 740-574-0327.
And your traffic brought to you this morning by your friends. That's right, at the river, and they'll have the doors open at 11 o'clock this morning. And don't forget, they also love to come to you as well. They cater. So just for any of your needs this spring and summer, give them a shout out. This morning we don't have any accidents. The fog is beginning to lift in downtown. It's almost gone, and it's now returning to the river banks where it once begun. Today also we've got a berming going on today in Crabtree Road. That's in Morgan Township. And let's keep it safe. And if you see something we need to know about, give us a call at 354-1993. Traffic and service of your friends at the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
Weather is service of Mary's Spirit Shop, where spring cleaning is going on now with the lowest prices on spirit shirts starting at just $5, plus a $10 clearance rack. Mary's is your complete headquarters for baseball and softball needs, plus boutique clothing at 50% off. Save now at Mary's Spirit Shop, 2109 Gallia Street in Portsmouth.
First alert forecast from WSAZ. Any lingering showers slide to the south with some partly sunny skies breaking in. Still humid. Temperatures in the 70s this afternoon. Patchy clouds overnight tonight, some isolated showers, a few rumbles, but a lot of rain-free hours as well, lows in the 60s. Partly sunny on Thursday, temperatures reach the 80s, but another shower and storm risk in the afternoon. Thursday will be a first alert weather day.
I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Brandon Butcher on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
And downtown with fog lifting, we got 65 as we get up and go.
Mixing it up in the morning with Steve Hayes.